Hi guys, welcome to Daily Japan.
Hi, I'm one of your co-hosts, Generonis Damon. And this is our first episode in Daily Japan. And I'm so excited to tell you what our topic is about today. Are you guys all excited? We will be talking about the Pillow Book from Japanese literature. But none of us here is experts in Japanese literature, and we're trying to give our ideas about the topic.
Yes, some trivia about Japanese literature. Writing was introduced to Japan from China in the 5th century via Korea. The oldest surviving works are two historical records, the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki, which were completed in the early 8th century. In the 11th century, during the peak of the Heian period, the world's first novel, The Tale of Genji, was written in Japan. And since then, Japan has maintained a vibrant literary culture. And contemporary writers such as Kawabata Yasunari and Oe Kenzaburo have won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1968 and 1994, respectively.
And I know all of you are asking questions in your mind, why is the Pillow Book important and is it worth it to give some time? Definitely yes. The Pillow Book is a collection of anecdotes, lists, and assorted writing that is one of the best source of information concerning the court society of the 10th century, and it's considered an influential landmark in the history of Japanese literature.
So Pillow Book. Pillow Book is a collection of notebooks or notes which has been collated to show a period of someone or something's life. In Japan, such kind of idle notes or generally referred to as the Shitsu genre.
Yeah, the Pillow Book is so called because the author tells about the Empress receiving a bundle of notebooks that she didn't know what to do with it. And Shei Shonagon asked if she might then make a pillow of them.
This book was recorded by Shei Shonagon during her time as court lady to Empress Consort Teishi during the 990s and early 1000s in Heian, Japan. And for our last segment in this Today podcast, Ms. Suarez will ask questions for our today's guest.
So, for the last segment of our podcast, I'm your host, Irami Suarez, and today, we are here together with our guest that's studying at Cavite State University. First, can you introduce yourself, guys, to our fellow listeners? So, I'm glad you came here to our studio and hear some of your opinion about the topic we're going to discuss for this today podcast. I hope not just you guys will learn about this podcast, but also those who right now tuning on our podcast. I hope you enjoy our this today discussion. So let's begin our topic, which is the Japan literature. So for our first question in this episode about what you guys know on Japan literature, can you share some thought about what is the first thing in your mind when it talks about the Japan or Japanese people? Anyone who can share.
Japan is for me the most organized society in our world.
Japan is the most disciplined people.
For me, Japan is well disciplined to their nature and value their nature really well.
What is the religion of Japan?
As far as I know, is it Confucianism?
No, that's not the right answer.
I didn't know what is their religion.
Okay, Miss Sales is passing the question to you, Mr. Kenneth.
I think it's Shinto and the second one is Buddhism. That's their religion.
That's the correct answer. And did you know, guys, that Shinto and Buddhism are their main religions of Japan are based on respect for nature. And trivia, a large red gate usually marks the entrance to a Shinto shrine.
Oh wow, that's a nice pathway.
Is there anyone who can guess how many islands in the Japanese island groups?
Me. It's about 4,000 islands and most of them live in the four main islands, and that is Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and lastly Shikoku.
Wow, Miss Alice, you are very knowledgeable for this question, huh?
Ha 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 ha. Mrs. Suarez, because we studied also about Japan literature on our World Lit subject.
Oh, you are very good listener student. That's great. Move on to our next question, which is where are the people from Japan depending on their foods?
Miss, that's sea. Many people from Japan are dependent on the sea.
And for our last question, what is the 17-syllable poem that presents the image of nature?
That's the poem of haiku, if I'm correct.
Okay, that's correct. And that's all for today's discussion, guys. I hope you learned something, guys, for this discussion. Thank you so much for listening and have a nice day, listener.